let's just say that, you know, I got in trouble when I was younger, like all kids growing up. But if that reputation follows you, there is a certain stigma to that. And even though I think churches as a whole are supposed to be graceful or gracious and loving, sometimes we forget that.
I was just looking for something more. I'm from a really small church, so there's not a lot of programs for young adults, and I wanted something a little more. Eric, you can't really describe him with one word.
Hi, my name's Eric.
Yeah, he's a very passionate person, and he cares for people, and he wants to do a lot for this community.
The Korean church is young.
I remember one day Eric contacted me.
Culturally, the first generation and second generation are drastically different.
He was considering creating a group.
Those differences caused a lot of miscommunication, a lot of brokenness within the church.
People that were hurt, people that needed to revitalize and re-energize, it was a place for them to come out and kick it.
And the solution ended up being WELLSPRING.
Most people are intimidated by churches, and they feel like they have to dedicate themselves fully to it in the beginning, which is very overwhelming.
It started as a bunch of guys gathering in a church.
WELLSPRING is it just feels a little more casual.
We started talking about how we wished when we were growing up had things like mentorship, discipleship.
I think it provided a lot of new opportunities, new things that I could do.
We had missed our youth group days when all the churches fellowshiped together. We missed the sporting events and all these other things.
You know, our original name was Second Chance Ministries. Because that's kind of what it is. But then we thought the connotation of that is like you just got out of jail. You don't want to. Not a church. Because we're very much aware and very sensitive to the fact that pastors will feel threatened. When there's no oversight on their part for that program, they're going to be nervous because they're going to think, oh, our kid's going to be going out to this thing instead of our church.
When we first created WELLSPRING, one of the things that we said was that we need to recognize, number one, that our first generation, rather than be bitter towards them, there's a reason why they created the church and they've lasted this long. We've actually gone into conversation with the leaders of the Korean church through the Korean Presbyterian Men's Association or Korean Presbyterian Pastors Association, and we've asked them, let's partner together and let's tackle this problem together.
I'm kind of ready to move forward and be more proactive at my church.
Luke came into the group with a lot of questions, with a great big heart, and I think through WELLSPRING, you know, he kind of got, I'm hoping that he got on good track.
If it wasn't for WELLSPRING and the kind of mentality that it instilled in me this past year and a half or so, I don't think I would consider it.
When he found that small group, we talked, and he told me, you know, I really want to plug into this place, and I said, please go.
We have to serve, and we have to love and encourage others with what God's blessed us with.
Aren't you sad to see people leave though?
No, because if everything works out, then WELLSPRING will be something that helps all the churches grow together. And then in my church, I'll still see these folks all the time through the programs that WELLSPRING had officially, initially laid down, that these churches adopted.
Yeah, it just provided a little extra something in my spiritual walk with God.
Maria, I felt like she gained a lot of confidence going on missions with WELLSPRING and serving in WELLSPRING and organizing the women's ministry.
That was definitely a challenge. I've never really worked I was never the head of anything before. I would teach something or do a little projects, but I was never the head of such a big project, and so that was a great training opportunity. And so after that, I was able to lead the outreach team at our church, and so it was a good training process.
It's grown so fast and it's done so much that it's really seen the evidence of God kind of pushing it and steering it along. Right now, we're focusing on the problem within the Korean church because it's something that is close to home. And I think eventually, WELLSPRING is something that is going to grow from the Korean community to the Asian American community. And then from there to hopefully bridge also the gaps between like the Anglo church, the Black Gospel church, and all the other cultures, where we can be all the churches in the Seattle area working together to dynamically impact all of Seattle together. I'm gonna make him nervous.
Awkward! Dude, I'm already nervous.
He's the.
Why are you nervous? You're a lawyer. You're supposed to speak in front of people.
Dude, I do ivory tower work. I don't do like criminal law. I'm sorry.
Oh my gosh.
Can you
That's
read-
why you got a haircut today.
I know, right?
I didn't even know. I didn't even know we're doing this.